Hey there, Heather Ho there. It's Jeff Gunnar Diamond. Welcome you to another Degrassi ism video, and it's a poll video this time. It's the top 5 things that Jay did wrong with the devil on the shoulder philosophy. Last week, I set up a Degrassiism that saw Jay and the question, well, and my rant on Jay saying he was the devil on everyone's shoulders. And practically, a lot of people did agree with me in a sense. But a lot of people said, well, maybe you're wrong. But yeah, like I got good feedback on the devil on the shoulder thing. As I explained why Jay was basically a devil on people's shoulders and got characters to do things that were really out of character. So I did a poll this past week saying the biggest devil on shoulder moment and all that. So I gave 6. Well, I gave 6 because, well, Reddit polls will only allow you to have 6. So there was one with 0 points. So the one without a vote was convincing the chef to allow Jay, Manny, Emma, and the studs to go to LA on a Degrassi bus. It was amazing how Jay could pull the strings and get Principal Shep to give him a Degrassi school bus so that they could go to LA to save Manny's audition for the Kevin Smith movie in which Paige takes the lead role by accident. Of course, a few episodes later, into season 9, the Shep is gone and Hatzalakos is back. Mostly with the combination of Peter asking his mom, Hatzalakos, to come back from Regina to deal with him because of his 2-day drug habit, and also the fact that the school board probably heard about the school bus thing and said enough was enough, and basically that was the final straw and sent the most awesomistic Shep out. So anyway, here are your top 5. Number 5 with 3 votes out of 82 was getting Sean to join his gang and dump Emma off season 3. This was the introduction to Jay. This was when we first see Jay. In Gangsta Gangsta, if I think that's the title name, Sean acts weird and all that, and Emma says, what's going on? And Sean says, you're not spending time with me. And Emma's like, I have a baby brother and a stepfather who's battling leukemia. I don't really have time for you. And all that. Sean calls Emma something. And then Emma calls Sean pathetic. Sean slams the locker in front of Emma, but Emma doesn't budge. Later on in the episode, when Raditch pisses Sean off, when Sean decides to do stuff, to steal stuff, and all that, he fights Jay. They're sent to the principal's office, and Jay tells Sean that he remembers Sean as the guy who deafened someone's ear in Wasaka Beach, and thinks that Sean could be a good acquisition to his gang, which he has Towers, who would be interested in Liberty. I don't know why that relationship didn't last that long. Amy, Alex, and a few other people. So Sean decides to steal stuff to impress his new friends. Emma's not too happy with it and tries to call Sean out on it. Unfortunately, because Sean sold the stuff too easy, that Raditch couldn't catch on, he couldn't get caught. But Sean insults Raditch. Raditch slaps him with 8 weeks of detention. And Emma is gleefully there. But Emma also is told by Chris this wasn't about getting Snake's laptop back. This was about destroying Sean. And of course, Emma's vindictive side comes out. So anyway, Sean does leave Jay's gang in a sense after he hooks up with Ellie in Saturday detention and embraces something better than himself. Number 4 with 7 votes was telling Sean to leave the scene of an accident while street racing with Peter season 6. So in this one, Sean is upset over the fact that he got expelled because Peter planted drugs in Sean's locker to get rid of Sean so that Peter could keep Emma, because when he hears about the whole Emma and Sean stuff from Manny, he's scared. He's going to lose Emma. Emma doesn't give a straight answer, as is either. However, let's not forget that some people probably say that this was set up to purposely break up Emma and Peter because that relationship was harsh on internet forums about 20 years ago. So regardless of that, Jay convinces Sean to have a street race with Peter so that the winner will get Emma's heart and all that. So they street race. Sean ends up hitting a jogger at the side of the road and wants to take care of him and call 911 to make sure that the jogger's okay. Peter pulls up, shocked too, and Jay also pulls up, telling Sean to leave the scene of the accident because they'll go easy on Peter, but they won't go easy on you. And Sean inexplicably decides to leave the scene of the accident. He tries to hide out at Emma's place, but Emma convinces him to tell the police to all that, and he's in trouble for a hit and run and is in jail. Of course, Jay, for some reason, decides to try to tell Emma that Peter was the scumbag and all that, despite the fact Sean hit the person in the car and all that. Emma doesn't realize that, and then Manny convinces Emma that Manny convinces Emma that Peter's the bad guy in the situation by putting a mask in her locker, and Emma didn't tell him the locker combinations, and Peter says that's how I framed Sean in a sense. It was weird how, Peter did that. And Emma did not go to Hatzalakos and either told Hatzalakos herself about the whole drugs thing or even tell Peter in front of his mom, you tell your mom everything going on. And Peter would have to confess and all that. My guess is Peter probably cried crocodile tears saying that Emma was the aggressor and all that. That's how he got Darcy the first time. He just said that Emma was just being mean to him for no damn reason. But he knows it. And it's weird how Jay never got found out that he told Sean to leave the scene of the accident. Only Sean knows. And Peter knows. But yeah, like Jay got away with it. And nobody called him out on it, which was plain bullshit. Number 4 is giving Emma that social disease, and that got 11 votes. So regardless of that, season 4, there was another season 4 thing, and I'll get to that in the next one, right? Did I do that right? Telling Sean to leave, or was it number 3? Sorry, I think I fingered wrong. Yeah, the chef was number 6. Sean the gang was number 5. Telling Sean to leave the scene of the accident was number 4. And number 3 is giving Emma that social disease. I wonder if I did say number 4. I have a feeling I misfingered. But anyway, if I didn't, I didn't. But regardless of that, there was another season 4 thing to talk about Jay, but we'll talk about that later. Anyhow, it's Secret, the episode that we saw that Emma wasn't handling the aftermath of the Rick situation well, even though that in a few episodes she seemed to be okay, melancholy. She was fine in Voices Carry Part 2, a part of the drama club. She didn't hide anything. But Emma is preparing to enter her stage for the Dracula rehearsal after Dracula was put back on by Hatzalakos as a way to help the students heal with the situation and, I guess, in a sense, say that Raj was wrong about this play. Regardless, Emma is backstage and Jay creeps up on her, and Emma does not give any signs that anything to say, hey, Jay, don't do that. Of course, Emma is long gone. She's in her zombie Emma phase, and Jay manages to coerce Emma to come down to the ravine and give him a blowjob. Soon, Emma feels powerful. She feels herself. She goes back to the ravine and actually goes after Jay in a sense. So she tries to dominate Jay and all that. And Jay's shocked about Emma and all that. And Emma says, guys will want to be with me. Of course, that statement is actually wrong because how many guys actually pined for Emma other than Sean in season 6? Not really anyone. Well, Rick and Toby, but they were creepy as fuck. It seemed the only guys who wanted to be with Emma, who portrayed Emma, even Chester, I think, wanted to go after Emma in season 4, were just creepy losers. Never mind that statement. We're talking about Jay. So anyway, the school talks about a gonorrhea attack, and then Emma knows about it because Amy and Alex both have the disease and all that. So basically, they're out for the school play, meaning that Liberty and Manny have to be the main ladies alongside Emma. So Emma is told that Jay is garbage by Manny. Why would you do such a thing about that? Emma says, I don't know what Emma says. Well, at least with Jay, I'm not getting pregnant and all that. And then gonorrhea spilled. And then Emma being with Jay and all that, they make the connection, and Nate refuses to kiss Emma, even though he's supposed to kiss Emma in the play and all that. And Emma then realizes what she has done and then yells at Jay, "You gave me a social disease." Jay says, "I wanted to be with you because I thought you were pure and virtuous. I don't feel that way now." And then Jay tells Emma off, saying, "We all know you're off," and all that. And then Emma, in a sense, the next day talks to Spike and Snake. She says she has to go to the clinic. And then she also says she was trying to be herself after the Rick aftermath, but she failed. And then everyone's like, "You don't have to be perfect, Emma." And then she realizes things and all that. I think, in a sense, she kind of confesses her role, saying that she should not have been in the Rick situation at all. Like, that's true. And the Orange Ribbon campaign was not just about domestic violence, it was about gaining friends and maybe sticking it to Radish for saying her causes were stupid. But regardless, it got Emma out of her funk, in a sense. She was still partially Emma, a zombie Emma at the end of season 4, not getting a lot of big storylines. And then she finally falls in love with Peter in season 5, which was stupid. But yeah, Jay was a prick. And it's assumed Emma may have gotten gonorrhea but fixed it. Anyway, speaking of season 4, that's number 2, and the surprise number 2, because I thought it would be number 1. With 26 votes, was no empathy towards Rick and also pushing Spinner and Jay to stay quiet season 4. So everyone knows about the Rick situation in season 3, where he pushed Terry's head on a rock. Has she bleeds out. Rick has blood on his hands. Terry's taken to the hospital in a coma, but fortunately everything's okay with her. At the end, Spitter and Paige basically don't know how to tell Terry's dad about Rick's creepiness and all that, and how it happened. But then in season 4, Rick's allowed back to Degrassi somehow. Now it was assumed he would get expelled, but no, his parents pulled him out. Rick probably crying crocodile tears. But anyway, everyone wants Rick out of Degrassi because of being an abuser. Alex and Marco, as student council, vice president, and president, respectively, try to get Radish's attention, but Radish tells him that his hands are tied because, well, there are no criminal charges. He's got a point, but he also could have helped relieve the tension, but it doesn't work out that way. And it was a deleted scene as well. So Rick is back at the school. Emma decides to try to get Rick out after seeing the effect it's taken on Paige and her friends, and also the fact that Emma doesn't really have friends because Manny and Liberty left her over the whole Chris situation. She did deserve it, mind you. So Jay even pops up too. Jay and Alex are. Jay hears from Alex these things, and he wants to help Alex out, and also probably to bully people. Probably not to be a popular guy, but he's got to be happy that he's kind of popular for trying to get Rick out of Degrassi. So unfortunately, Jay wants to use unorthodox tactics to destroy Jay. Rick. He beats up Rick outside the Dodge before Emma steps in to stop it. Jay is part of the last group of bullies with Spinner, Alex, and yes, Jimmy, because Jimmy did dump Rick in the dumpster. Now Jay got mad at Toby because he found out Toby paid Darcy $5 for a kiss, and it was supposed to be Jay and Darcy were supposed to be siblings, but that didn't pan out. So anyway, Jay also decides to go after Toby because after Rick spray painted their cars and all that, they knew it was Rick and wanted to go after Rick, but Toby didn't tell him and do it, and then he got a split lip because of the interference. So Jay, Alex, and Spinner were the true bullies after Jimmy switches sides after realizing Rick is being abused and all that. And he says that Toby's going to get hurt because of me. So anyway, Jay, Spinner, and Alex concoct a plan to paint and feather Rick during the quiz bowl thing. And Jay tells Rick in the bathroom, "You're saving the school with your smarts. Everything is cool." Getting Rick's hopes up so that Rick doesn't see it coming. And then Jay tells Spinner that with him dating Alex, she'll do her part and we'll be okay. So the painted feathers fall and they kind of get Rick and they're happy about it. Jay would be too. But also Jay plays a major role in Time Stands Still Part 2 when Spinner tells him that Raditch knows. And Jay says, about Jimmy? Yeah. And then Spinner's like, what are you talking about? And then Jay sees the paint and feathers in the sink and the stall. It's like, yeah, Jimmy set everything up. And courses Spinner to play along with the joke. So that basically Rick and Jimmy stop being friends and all that. Of course, they both don't know he has a gun. So Rick finds Jimmy, shoots him, goes after Emma, tries to shoot her, but Sean saves the day. And then Spinner tells Jay that Jimmy got shot and he has to tell somebody. And Jay says, you have to calm down. He's my best friend. I owe him one. Either outcome, he was your best friend. Basically, meaning that if Jimmy's alive, I don't think he wants to be Spinner's friend. And if Jimmy was dead, well, you can't be friends with a live person when you're dead. So Jay courses Spinner to keep quiet about it. And Spinner, for 3 months, the length of Jimmy's rehab, does so. But Spinner can't help it and tells Jimmy everything. He's compelled to confess. Jay is upset, thinking that Spinner just couldn't keep his mouth shut. Spinner says Jimmy deserved to know, and then Jay says, well, now you're an outcast like me. Of course, Jay had to be upset that Spinner would confess later to Hatzelackles and drag Jay's name in the mud, but not Alex's. So Jay is upset with Spinner a lot. But Jay and Spinner team up to try to burn the school. Destroy the school for not allowing Spinner to get his credits to graduate and all that. But Jay, to his credit, does the one cool thing and prevents Spinner from burning the school down after realizing Spinner is popular and can win his friends back. Jay, of course, is not allowed to come back near Degrassi because he refuses to apologize for the whole Rick situation. And he still, in the back of his mind, says that Spinner was coerced to come clean and all that. They needed a scapegoat. Jay, in a sense, is partially right, but Spinner also told on his own accord. But anyway, talking about Jay actually being a devil on the shoulder, but he actually had a good moment. Good moment. Well, number one, with 35 votes for first place, getting JT to deal drugs in season 5. So, of course, season 5's pregnancy angle of Liberty was terrible because it told things from JT's perspective. It made Liberty a bit of a villain for refusing to tell her parents everything and just refusing help in a sense. So JT finds out Liberty's pregnant and finds he can't make ends meet at the TV studio. So he needs to get Liberty somewhere and they need to live and care for the baby. JT's grandmother refuses to do so because she figures that JT's going to run off on the kid like JT's dad ran off on him, but JT assures her everything will be fine. And then Liberty says, your grandmother's a lamb compared to my parents if they find out I'm pregnant. How do Liberty's parents not see the point? Liberty basically was spending her time trying to avoid suspicion she was pregnant. Kind of dumb. Nevertheless, JT becomes a pharmaceutical assistant. He gets the money, and then Jay, out of freaking nowhere, pops up in the episode and tells JT, OxyContin, cool. I know plenty of people who would sell their own mothers to get this drug. So he manages to get JT to steal OxyContin, trade it off, get the money, and help out with Liberty and be a provider. Liberty finds this out and tells JT to quit the drug trade immediately. JT wants to, but the drug dealer refuses to have anything to do with it. And on top of all that, JT is being investigated for stealing the drugs, so JT's life is spiraling. He tells Jay everything. Jay says, bummer times, but at least there's a party. JT decides to overdose on purpose, but Jay, to his credit, decides to try to get some help for JT. And it works. Jay becomes a good guy in a sense. Then, JT is dumped off by Liberty. Liberty's going to give up the baby because of JT couldn't provide and all that. Kind of a dumbass move. JT was trying, but JT did fail in a sense. I can understand Liberty's POV. But yeah, Jay was a gigantic devil on everyone's shoulders. Sean in season 3. The students, Spitter and Alex and Emma in season 4. JT season 5. Sean in season 6. Possibly Manny in season 7, and of course, the devil maybe on Shep's shoulders for the Degrassi school bus. But it doesn't matter in the end, does it? But yeah, Jay's a piece of shit. I'm sorry, that's the way I say. He's the biggest Degrassi villain a lot who's alive. Rick outdoes him, but Rick's dead. So that's that. Anyhow, I'm jumped. I'm gonna do.